Morena from Aotearoa on the December solstice, the longest day in the southern hemisphere and the longest night in the north. And Guardians of Gaia is a space in cyberspace where guardians gather. Many of us who walk alone in our service get to come together to reconnect with familiar souls, share intel, guidance, wisdom, and company. And a special welcome today for old souls with new faces who are joining us from across the globe. It's lovely to see you here. So let us begin by going through the holographic alignment to come into harmonic so that everything that is shared here may be more easily conveyed and received and integrated. You're welcome to stand up, sound, breathe, and move if it is easier to support you through this process. Let us align physical, mental, and emotional bodies. With all-pervading soul or higher self and monadic galactic self. Connecting through a few different galaxies through our gathering today. Activating the Earth Star, 1 foot, half a meter beneath the feet, and connecting through the divergent meridians of the planetary body. Rios de luz, light, agua, water, fuego, fire, and oro, crystal, mineral, gold kingdom. And inviting those primordial elements up through our pillars to cleanse, clear, and purify, regenerate, rejuvenate, revitalize, and energize. Particularly at this time of solstice, whether in the north or the south, whether in silence and stillness in the dark, or in the expansion of the sun, we're being asked to come into stillness, to pause. So it's a very powerful time for cleansing and purification, no matter what hemisphere we're residing. So inviting those primordial elements up all the way to the soul star, 1 foot, half a meter above the head, connecting to our celestial nature and inviting our celestial connection down through our terrestrial bodies as we surrender through the core of Source in the crystal heart of Gaia, where the new true earth architecture emerges. And really softening and surrendering into the pelvis, into the planetary body, into our bodies, where we are held, where we are supported. Surrendering through the core of Source in our own heart spaces. Through the core of Source and the great central suns. And as we go through our suns, through the great central suns, we're activating our solar discs. And through our moon and through Theia, our ancient moon, part of which is embedded in the African continent, and activating our lunar discs. And surrendering through the core of Source in the galactic center into Homo Universalis, our ancient future self. Wherever that gateway resides within your own system, be it through the third eye, the gateway to God, all seeing, all knowing, or through the umbilicals, once it's landed and alchemized and actualized. Inviting everybody to inhale and exhale with sound as we strengthen and fortify our own pillar. And inhaling, exhaling with sound as we strengthen and fortify our own pillar and place on the planet, honoring the guardians in the seen and the unseen realms. Feeling the dragons stirring as we honor our dragon kingdom through dimensions and time-space. And inhaling, exhaling with sound as we connect through and around the planetary body. And as we maintain that connection and coherence, I'd love to hand you over to Casey.
Thank you, everyone, for choosing to join us in Circle today. We're going to stay in this connected field and expand out to further reaches, allowing our consciousness to expand out to the solar fields, to the plasma fields, anchoring into the universal light fields that are wishing to connect at this time. There is expansion taking place on all of these levels, an upgrade, a recalibration, a reunification, allowing the plasma and solar fields to come into congruence at this time. Allowing the light templates, the solar templates of Gaia's cosmic body to be adjusted. We're turning up the dial of the amount of the solar plasma that is allowed into the field of Gaia at this time. We're allowing this adjustment to be made on the solar body of Gaia herself and on to the solar bodies of the humans at this time. Allowing for there to be more harmony felt within the entirety of all the systems. That as the plasma fields, the solar fields, come into our awareness, that they are received and our bodies do not react in a harsh way. That there is a gentleness to them now. It's a vibrational change that we are stepping into. It's the higher octave. It's the 12 D harmonics that can be anchored into the field at this time. This is why we have been shifting out of the old. This is why we have taken a year of integrating and shedding, of shadow work, of dark, of cocoon time. Releasing of the patterning of the old, releasing the patterning and the songs that no longer serve us. Washing away of anything that is keeping us out of alignment. Because of the solar recalibration into the galactic gateways that is opening up. We are calling back the light at this time. Anchoring into the new light fields. Anchoring into the higher galactic harmonics that are available. This is the great shift that we have been waiting for. It happens in increments. This is why the shedding has occurred. Giving gratitude for the season of grief, the season of sorrow, letting go. And creating space for something new. Creating doorways and windowways and opportunities to come in. Allowing new spectrums of light to enter into the field of the human, into the cells of the body, into the waters of the body, into the plasma itself. This is why the human system is required to come into balance. So that these new waves can be anchored. And do not create distortion in the field. This is part of the bigger process of stepping forward into the higher potential of the human. As Gaia's crystal core receives an upgrade from the plasmic field, the crystalline vibrations become stronger, creating a wave of vibration to begin to wake up some of the crystal cities and master crystals that have been asleep. This is part of the next step. The reawakening of the elementals and the elemental systems. This is part of the emergence of the inner earth and removing the dimensional lines of separation. As we reach a higher octave, those lines of separation are no longer required. The transitionary states step into flow. This is creating the oneness of the experience of Earth herself as she reclaims that higher vibrational state. These elements of separation no longer need to exist. This is what we are all being asked to step into as well at this time. These universal fields of consciousness, anchoring that expanded state into our everyday experience. We are welcoming this all into the field at this time, understanding that this is what we are being asked to step into. and giving gratitude for this information to come forward. We wish to continue this expanded state throughout the circle, this higher consciousness field to be anchored in through the circle. And when you are ready, we will continue by opening our eyes and choosing to come fully in at this time.
Thank you, Casey. It was really beautiful when you when speaking into the crystalline core of the planet and the inner Earth cities and more crystals being coming online. What I was shown is that this is going to be the tipping point into the mass awakening of humanity that we've been waiting for. Is literally the start of the waterfall into 2026. So it's quite exciting. We've known it's been coming, and it's what we've been preparing for. And it's also been an extraordinary few days as we've come through from the galactic alignment with the galactic center on the 19th, and then into the new moon on the 20th. And it was also another ending of a 36-day cycle of the 9th wave of the main calendar, and the 20th was day one of the next 36-day cycle of the main calendar. So it's another new beginning, another birth out of that. So it's been a very powerful time of cleansing and purification on our planet. So we'd love to open the field to listen to any contributions or questions that anybody else may have to share. Please keep contributions clear and concise so that we may receive your transmissions. As we disappear into the stillness of the solstice and the sun stands still. So I'll share a little bit about my journey I've recently been on. In Aotearoa, there is a space at the top of the North Island. The North Island is Te Ika o Maui, the fishhook of Maui. And this bay is called Kapa Wairua, Spirits Bay. And it's known as the place on the land where the souls leave when people pass. And I'm often called up to Kapa Wairua at different times. And this time, I was called up to do a 5-day water fast up there. And I've done water fasts before. That was my 5th one. I've done 5-day fasts. I've done 3-day water fasts. And it was really beautiful to be up there for this time, and grateful that this is the first time. Often when we do a water fast, that takes preparation, and I'll leave a link beneath the replay on YouTube of guidelines for water fasting. But this was the first time I didn't get a headache, which is quite nice. Often we get a headache when we're fasting, when the toxins are clearing from the body, and I didn't get one. So I was going through the process, and it was beautiful. I got to snorkel with the fishes. The kaitiaki, the stingray up there, was there to greet me when I arrived. And then the wind came up, and the wind was huge, and the ocean was huge. And I'm like, feeling a bit low on energy, but I've got to get in that ocean. And when I did, it was extraordinary. Because swimming in these big seas and in the wind and the waves and the water, I was energized. So then I got curious. I'm like, okay, there's something here about our elemental nature, the infinite potential of the elemental nature that surrounds us, and our way to access that. And I've discovered, because then I started playing with it, through a certain breath that's similar to Ujjayi breathing in yoga, but a little bit different, breathing through right at the back of the mouth, that I could tap into the elemental forces of nature and actually be energized and nourished by them. Because if you think about it, breatharians exist. Those who do it well and do it, they have a healthy, strong body and function really well, even if they're operating as a breatharian. So we have access to that infinite elemental forces of nature. So that has been my experiential journey for the last 5 days now, is exploring, tapping into and drawing energy direct from nature. And it's been really amazing. So that's my offering for today, my discovery. And as there's this Spirits Bay, Kapawairo, at the top of Aotearoa's North Island, Te Ika o Maui, Aotearoa's South Island, Te Waipounamu, also has a Spirits Bay at the top there. So for those that are ever visiting in the South Island, it's possible to visit that space.
Leanne, do they operate the same way?
Both islands?
The Spirits Bay.
Both Spirits Bays do, yes. It's the same as the place where spirits leave the land. So it's quite interesting if you think of your pilgrimage when you soon come to Aotearoa, wants you to start at the bottom and come up. So I imagine you're going to find a lovely route through this land. And Aotearoa is extraordinary, even for people who are not used to listening, are guided by this land, because the communication remains in connection and very coherent. So they will literally intuitively be guided on where they need to go. Claudia.
Yeah, since I'm here nearby, can I ask what is the name? Is it Pupubonga or Farewell Spit? I'm not sure. Can you see?
It's not Farewell Spit. No, I'll have to actually look in a map and
Okay.
I'll give you
Yeah.
the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it would be interesting for.
Yeah. Where Claudia is based in the top of the South Island of Aotearoa, it's a really extraordinary area with the tectonic plates there, because we're used to tectonic plates subducting or abducting. But right between the North and the South Island, they twist. You've got one abducting under one and subducting, and the other subducting and abducting. So it's a real access point, pressure point in the plates. So it's a really extraordinary energy center, and you get big oceans through there. And sadly, it's also a place where many whales get stranded in Farewell Spit at this time of year. Yeah. Anna. Anna or Anna Rose, what do you prefer?
Anna Rose, it doesn't matter. Anna Rose. Hello. I was pulled to this group by a couple of people with that Agartha thing opening last week. And as you talk about the land that you're on, I'm in Northern California at the base of the mountain that they call Tushtak in Ohlone, which means dawn of time. And whatever was going on with time in me today, I'm just going to reference that. Meanwhile, I lived for 20 years in New York City as an acupuncturist. I'm just going slow because there's a lot of stuff moving through my form as I touch on these points. So I'm just going to throw them all in the pot and let them do what they want to do. Just referencing Stephanie Elaine and Miriam. We work in a triad, so that, boom, anchors well for me. There we go. A lot of extraordinary changes going on in the crystalline corridor that is Manhattan. Manhattan, actually. I'm used to saying Manhattan. Manhattan, which is Lenape. And that came in very strongly today during our earlier meditations. And it brought me back to the island of many hills where the Lenape were before constructs of linear time and overlays were put on the region. Just going to reference the golden dragons, awakening and moving through the grids of New York. Remembering, connecting with Norway, and the crystalline stream coming down through Nova Scotia. Opening the power of the crystalline winds through that corridor. The crystal star is landing and anchoring through the land in this corridor. Welcome the aurora. Sound streams landing, infinite harmonics through the land, harmonizing, remembering, anchoring. That feels really good to me. Thank you for whatever that was, holding space for that. Complete.
There are different dragon lineages that are connected to the different crystal cities. That one you're speaking about is the golden dragon one, but it depends on the living libraries that are stored there, which dragon races are keepers of that, and the tonality of the crystals that are in each of those cities, bringing in the different harmonics to be anchored in from the cosmic all the way down. The master crystals in some of the cosmic locations are the first ones to turn on.
Thank you, Anna and Casey, and thank you for walking us through that at the rate of which it could be transmitted. It was beautiful to receive all that information through the system. And it's interesting, as what we've found in these gatherings is it enables us to land pieces that we're often unable to do on our own or in smaller groups, but in the more expanded field around the planet, then it provides strengthens the landing pad for planetary changes. So thank you, and thank Miriam and Stephanie for your contribution and your Trinity. Yeah. feel like Anna Katrina might have something for us.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. I'm so happy to meet Anne Rose Ferris here again. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for coming. There has been a lot going on. Actually, I don't know where to start. It is every day is so potent at the moment. And it is mostly has been inner earth work, definitely. And in combination with the dragons, like the work that it is just running through the whole time. And different parts. I once felt now very strongly connected to Raylan being there in Peru, in like Lake Titicaca, and I was pulled to different places there around the lake. And that was the latest work of the 3 last days. So what I was really, really, how can I say it, like wondering myself about is a work that is coming up, and it will be done by all of us together anyway. Yeah, it's just collaboration for the future. Nevertheless, each one holds pieces, unique pieces to it. And it is, it was today that it is actually, I got this picture or this message. It is a huge, the oldest dragon of the earth that is somewhere in inner earth that was once belonging to the ancient ones, and their paradise or Eden codes had been stolen, and this dragon is like asleep in a way. And they said each dragon that each of us works with, yeah, and that comes awake and alive again, will bring that oldest dragon back to life, yeah, back to into his life force. So with each dragon that is waking up in mountains or wherever in waters, that one will wake up, and that is still, I feel, in the process. And yeah, and of course the work was a combination also with a lot of crystal work, with a lot of crystals that were like etheric galactic crystals that were brought back to places. And yeah, so it is just, it is going very fast at the moment. And so I just throw this in the pot with the big one. Let's see what happens. And I just heard for today that the portal will be opened. And I'm sure Casey said it anyway. It's about this new light coming in. That is what I felt very, very strongly.
Thank you for acknowledging that ancient dragon in inner earth. I felt that one today when we were going through the holographic alignment process. Just felt it like stirring down there.
Yeah, and it felt like each of us has like it was so beautiful, this message, like with every dragon that comes alive, that dragon will come alive. And it was also sometimes told like be we like careful or be soft, wake them up softly because they are connected to the tectonic plates, that it's not too strong happening, yeah, with too much force, and be gentle with the work. But yeah, so it is stirring up, it is growing. Oh no. Oh shit.
Is there anyone else who has any contributions or questions for the field today? It was quite interesting while we were up at Kapawairo. I was up there with another brother who's a guardian, Richard Simon Windelov, and we've been up there before together and often done work together. And in the space where we often did work, which is at the end of the island on one side of the bay. I'll post some pictures on my Facebook later today to have a look at that. There, it was really interesting when we're talking about awakening gently, because the system there, the energy center, the portal, whatever you'd like to call it there, opened another aperture. And in so doing, it opened all the way from source to source. And that was the first time that I'd experienced that in a site. And it was really interesting because it happened so gently in this opening process. And when I inquired a bit more about, is there more places and spaces that are opening like that? They will happen slowly and gradually, and it's connected with also the guardians that are present on the land there, on the embodiment and evolution of their system in relation to the land, how it will respond and what is possible, which was quite interesting in the unfolding.
Leanne, there's a connection here that I want to bring forward from an experience that I had in a group connected to a different soul sister. We were bringing forth this information about the soul star that we have anchored into our systems. And through that connection, there was a dissolution of that energy of the soul star, almost like an unbinding, and it opened up the aperture I could feel in my system to access more of that source to source connection in my physical system. And it almost kind of took away the blockage of having one connection field to go to. It like allowed in more connections from further out cosmic spaces in my field. And when you were talking about that land, I was seeing the same thing happen in my system and remembering about that.
Yeah, thank you. And that it what's unfolding feels like a interfaces with the new souls that are arriving with source to source connection. So the planet is upgrading to meet their arrival as well, as we are then able to embody that architecture through our own systems simultaneously. So yeah, it's quite exciting because it feels like these ones that are arriving now, some of them have not been on the planet before, and definitely not arriving with this degree of coherence through dimensional architecture. Yes, please, Anna.
Oh my God. Whatever you're talking about there is thrilling me. So I was trained a long time ago as an acupuncturist, and I just want to bring the attention to this area, which corresponds also with the perineum. There are things called extraordinary channels, which are what build the fetus. And then we're, quote, born into the limited 12, which most humans are living in. But in my opinion, the extraordinary 8 are our unlimited collective form, and we're connecting back into that. It's a lot of thought there. there are two extraordinary meridians, the masculine one, they call it, and the feminine. So the do, or governing, up and down your spine, and the ren, up the front. And there's a third current that goes through there that they don't talk about. So I'm just going to touch some points because these are transition points moving your carbon form into crystalline. And when you're talking in the southern hemisphere, and I'm in the northern hemisphere, and you're talking about tectonic plates, I can feel it helping the lower half of my body. And Stephanie Lane, I know you can too. So at the perineum, the do meets the ren. The masculine meets the feminine. So I'm just going to sit right there for a second. Building tensile strength, adjusting spin. Those lines of energy are not separate. And they move simultaneous, so they are in active paradox when fully activated. We're at the heart level now, under the armpits. The point is heart 1, the individual heart channel. So we move into the year of the fire horse. There's the higher octave, the collective heart channel, the pericardium, the triple burner, or called the Sanjiao. So we're just hitting carbon to crystalline transfer points in those systems for ease and grace in transformation of the carbon form to its highest configuration collectively. I want to reference the Maori, and I feel them. I do not know a lot about them, but the way that they do those tattoos, there is something so potent and right there. The other meeting point of the Ren and the Do is here. And whatever they're doing with those tattoos, man, feel that. Oof. And I draw them into my paintings as gold, as if as these points meet, gold just gushes out of your mouth, but within a closed loop system. So just opening the field as a collective to receive the perfected crystalline map for your form, imprinting into the field, crystalline stars alight. Star maps. Stephanie Elaine. Star map master. Okay. That feels great on my body. I think that is everything. Thank you.
Thank you. What a gift. That feels great in mine too.
Right. I was like, she's down there. I'm going to be on this call for sure.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Stephanie and Miriam. Wow. I love the way your trilogy works together. It's
Yeah.
it's brilliant. It's very strong and very powerful. So thank you for that beautiful gift. The Maori Moko, it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that word.
Moko. Yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful.
And it's interesting because grandchildren are called mokopuna.
So beautiful.
So in the language, there's many layers to each word. So in that, in the grandchildren, there'll be a connection to creation. Yeah. Wow.
I'm feeling a connection with those symbols and the Chinese, Asian symbols. Something's handshaking, and there's some Egyptian little handshaking going on.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's interfacing and integrating simultaneously.
Ooh, Miriam, the translator. That's a Miriam skill for sure. Finding those translation points. Oof.
So thank you. I just want to say thank you for this beautiful circle. For me, something comes up that I have to throw in just the white tiger energy into this circle. I don't know why, but it's coming up. So I'm just going to share that. The white tiger energy is very present for me, at least now. And as Anna Rose spoke now, I'm guided to open up the whole field and to become boundlessness, eternal, and ultimately to disappear into the oneness of Source. To disconnect even from all the concepts and all the traces and points and connection points and come together in the eternal, never-ending oneness. Aho. Thank you. Thank you. And I was guided to draw these symbols. Meanwhile, listening to you all. This is one. Maybe you can see that. And this one is looks like a face. Yes. Thank you. That was my sharing contribution. Blessings.
Um, if I'm allowed to share a picture, I do codes with fractals. So they're omniquantum fractals. And then I do star mapping by hand, and then I mix the two. And I've been prompted to share one with you if I would be allowed to. All right, let me see if I can do this.
You're welcome. Do you need a share screen?
I do.
Okay, let me have a look for you.
Okay.
Make you a co-host, and that should let you share.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. That worked. Hold on a second. I'm just going to bring up. I'm going to see if I can match the one that they told me to share with you. Hold on a second. Unfortunately, I have 10,000 of these. So,
While you look for it, I just want to say thank you to Miriam. That was really beautiful. Left me speechless. Wow.
all right. And there it is. And I don't explain these. These are for you. Whatever you see in it is for you. So please, it is my pleasure to share this for you. And whatever you receive is for you. I do not dictate these to say anything other than what you need from them. And if you want, I can make it available for whoever wants to just be with it. So I will share it wherever you would like me to.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. I'd love to put it on the thumbnail of today's gathering so it shows up as a cover page if that feels
Yeah, that would be perfect. These are not mine to I'm to share them, you know. So yes, that would be an honor, and I'm grateful for that. Absolutely. We'll figure out how I can send it to you, and then we'll deal with it. Okay.
Thank you very much. And for anybody who's not on our WhatsApp thread and wants to be on it, please send me a WhatsApp message so that we can add you, because that'd be a perfect place to share your creation
Oh, okay.
that came through you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wow. Oh, is there anything else from anyone else before we come to closure today after this beautiful sharing? After having an empty belly for 5 days or 6, my system feels very full and very well nourished. Thank you to all of you. So, a lot of deep love and gratitude for everybody who is here with us today, and for everybody who may not be present with us today yet is sharing the journey with us through the replays. Thanks to all of us for our devotion, dedication, and service. And rather exciting as this year of the wood serpent is coming to a slow closure. We have another 7 weeks before the year of the fire horse is birthed. So very much a time of ending and beginnings for many people, and relocation for some. So for anybody listening to the replay, please know that everyone you've met here today are practitioners and facilitators in their own right. And if you need support, to reach out to those that are in resonance. As it's not a time to be stuck for too long, because everything is moving at a rapid rate of evolution. And if we are not evolving, we are devolving. It is that simple. So much love, gratitude, and appreciation. And as we return fully on tact into the earth plane, I will hand you over to Casey for closure.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today in Circle, for the connection of our heart fields, and for the connection of the greater expansive field, allowing the codes to drop in fully from the universal fields of light and receiving that expansion through our human systems, our light systems, in cooperation and coordination with Gaia herself. Giving gratitude for our human journeys and feeling into the space of that expansive heart. And understanding that this expansive heart and higher heart work in communion together. That we might be in the fullest expression of ourselves, connected to Gaia, connected to the cosmic, and connected to the oneness. With so much gratitude, we will anchor back into our physical bodies, feeling our feet connected to the ground where we can stand, tethered, grounded, rooted to Gaia at all times. Feeling her heartbeat, feeling her pulse. We'll anchor into our human systems a little bit more, adding more density as we begin to add some gentle movement. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, breathing deeply into your body. And when you are ready, coming all the way back in by opening your eyes.
Thank you, everybody. May the sacred season continue to unfold in ease, grace, and beauty. And while life is busy, remember it's to be lived at the pace of grace and speed of love. And we look forward to meeting you in a couple weeks' time on the next full moon. Much love. Au aroa nui from Aotearoa. Big love from New Zealand. Until next we may meet.